Windows utility development is what today's stream's all about, and I'm kind of excited for it. It's been about a couple weeks since the last time we did another stream on this. This one, we're really going to be looking, we have 12 PRs to address. That should be pretty quick work of that. And also I wanted to actually look at micro-win testing. Also a new feature up here before I start the stream. Sometimes I get a little too ADD. I'm going to leave that up on the stream just so people that enter in, or maybe really for me, I just want to look back up there and go, oh yes, that's what we're doing. So I don't get too sidetracked. I'll still fail miserably at this, but that's probably what we're going to be doing today. Is just always up on the screen. So if you ever enter my stream, you're like, what are you doing, Titus? Be like, look. And then also, I know what I'm doing. Because often, sometimes you jump into chat, I'm like, I don't know. We're just messing around. How's everybody doing today? Lovro, Herb, how y'all doing? Also, YouTube, I have done something so you guys aren't so total second-class citizens. I have made YouTube alerts for like Super Chat and YouTube members. So it'll pop up on the stream. Probably. I at least made the effort to put it up on the stream. We'll see if anything happens during this stream. But I did make some alerts finally for YouTube. It's been a couple weeks. So if someone did Super Chat and I missed it in the past, I apologize. Still getting the hang of this whole streaming thing. I've only been doing it for 5 years. You'd think I'd be better, but here we are. So that's kind of what we're thinking about. Oh man, I tell you. Hey Pluto, things been going good here. Been really good. Can't complain with a lot of the stuff. I've actually looked at a couple things on GitHub. We started using tags, so that's intriguing, and a few other things that I've been kind of working out, and yeah, should be a fun one. I probably should jump over to Windows, huh? Let's launch in and make sure our Windows instance is still working, which maybe not. That's shut off, of course. Okay, well, let's fire that guy back up. Gonna be hard to work on Windows if we're not in Windows. What is a good tiling window manager for KDE? Ooh, I think they have some built-in add-ons that you can use. I think there was one I was using, Cronkite, I think it was. I don't know. Like I said, when it comes to window managers, I'm like, I'll probably just use window manager instead of KDE. But KDE, I understand a lot of people like having a lot of the stuff that desktop environments give you. It's just, I don't know. I don't know. When I'm in Linux, I really just don't want a whole bunch of stuff running. So that's why I don't really run anything with my Linux installs. I like just bare bones. That's my jam. Yeah, I love GlazeWM for Windows. It's been my favorite tiling. It's actually made it for several weeks now. I haven't actually removed it. I still have, obviously, the auto hide down here, but it's still doing all right. Now, I am not streaming on Thursday, Herb. I actually have to do real work this whole week. I know. Woe is me. At my real job, we're moving the headquarters. So we have 2 branch offices, and then the main office is actually getting moved. So I'm going to be having to move some servers and set up a bunch of workstations and, all that fun stuff for probably Thursday, Saturday, and then probably next Monday at the very least. Be there for, whatever issues arrive from the whole move. Maybe Friday as well. So I'm actually gonna have to work like 3 or 4 days. Oh, it hurts. But yeah, once every 5 years, I guess I can manage. Yeah, whenever you move, you're gonna have issues. Whenever you move servers and go into a new network and having to reset all that up, yeah, there'll be something that pops up. There's always something. What do you think of DT's Qtile OS? trolling you. Oh, James, can you give me a link? Oh man, I didn't know he trolled me. I know DT likes to troll me from time to time. I love DT though. He's great. It's a bank holiday here on Monday, May Day. Oh, nice. Well, congrats. So long weekend for us Brits. That's awesome. Well, today I'm going to go ahead and pull this up. Let's start pulling down any changes from WinUtil. We're going to work through, let's see. Let's go main branch, fetch that. And we'll grab our test branch. And we're all set up, ready to rock. And then over on Workspace 2, we're going to pull up the GitHub. Start looking through at our PRs. Time to break Windows. Name of the game. All right. Is moving the best time to upgrade network equipment, or is that only theory? Yes, but not for the reasons you think. I like to upgrade networking equipment, and probably some of the biggest mistakes I see, like new infrastructure people use, like maybe reusing like some cat cables and things of that nature. Most people don't realize Ethernet cables degrade over time. So I never reuse any Ethernet cables. So let's say we're in a spot for 5 years or so, or over 5 years. I'll throw away every Ethernet cable we have and then just put all new Ethernet cables. You'd be shocked at how many issues arise from using a very old Ethernet cable. I know that sounds crazy, but it's a thing. Most people don't talk about that. So, yeah, I still have Cat 4 on my wall. Hey, you can use that, you know, if it's like an old RJ11 cable, you know, those. Some people still have them in like 90s homes. You can use that to pull other cable through. So don't just get rid of those things. Use it to pull new cable through. It's always a good thing. Oh, the welcome screen on the browser. I try to do some minimal stuff on my welcome screen for sure. Well, that's just false. No offense. It's rarity. It's a rarity you see the degradation of your Ethernet so much to the point that it breaks, but it still can happen. A lot of it, you're better off just recycling it, getting your copper. There's some people that come pick it all up too. But anytime you see big commercial spaces, a lot of times they don't leave a lot of the cat cable. They usually pull it all out. Even if the office has only been there for a year or two, and then it all gets recycled. But yeah, I don't really keep old cat cables in business, at least. Here at the house, I'm obviously cheap, so I will reuse cat cables. Sometimes I'm like, this one's probably older than 10 years. Good enough. But then again, I probably would have more networking here at the problems at the house. Oh, the Arch Titus. Yeah, we do need to update that as well. Oh, really? I didn't even realize that the DWM blocks async works great with clicks. That's awesome, Razzo. I need to take a look at that. All right. Let's see. Let's start just piling in the pull request. I'll probably do a pull request, answer some chat, pull request, chat. Inevitably, that's what I usually do anyways, but you know. Yeah, edge removal part of your update today. Yeah, we can probably look at that, see what it entails. All right, OG MRK usually has some good ones. Let's see what we're doing here. What are we changing? Switch. So we're doing a switch shortcut to add WinUtil, PowerShell, IRM, Chris Titus, execution start policy. Nothing really changing there. Arguments. Angry, thanks for the sub, man. And then testing path. Well, I don't really see much of a difference here. That looks almost identical. And then file browser, show dialog. What are we doing here? Do an early return. If the save shortcut was canceled by... Oh, I got you. There was a bug in that regard. And yeah. So it's really that edition. Cool. Approve. Submit. And then we'll test it on this PC. Squash and merge. And then we'll try and create the shortcut. So we got that. Let's come over here. Fetch and pull. Oh yeah, we need to work on the bootloader script as well. We used it yesterday. It did pretty good. For it being as old as it is, it still has managed to do this thing here on Arch. And then over here, oh, you know what? It doesn't really matter because one thing that's problematic with Windows. So let's launch, say you launch an admin prompt. Like, look, I'll put it right here. Oh, excuse me. Oh, no. Okay, that does work. Can we push it to, let's say... Oh, no, that doesn't work. Okay. That's funny. Okay. Let's go here, and we're going to just put the admin prompt over on workspace 3. So then if I want to get out of it... Okay, I can't do that. Let's just put it like that. It's a little weird with tiling window managers in Windows because you have to click out of admin or elevated apps before you can switch your desktops. So right now, if I do anything, it types right into here and I can't switch my workspace, where if it's not an elevated app, you can. It's just like another, it's a reason why like Linux tiling window managers are just so much better. And why Windows tiling managers drive me up a wall. GlazeWM still does it better than every other one I've tried, but it still sucks compared to Linux. I would love to see a distro made only for elderly. Large format, only basic like messaging, video chat, maybe some add-ons or limited browser on YouTube. My mom's one of those seniors. You might look into what Zorin has some decent scaling. Maybe Mint. Although, I don't know. Those are both pretty user-friendly with all GUI, and I want to say the scaling works okay on them. But it's been a while since I tried, so couldn't tell you 100% on that. What's your opinion of Run Zero? Oh yeah, we're getting sudo replaced. Goodbye, sudo. Microsoft's taking sudo, and us Linux folks are going to be doing Run Zero. It's kind of like the old... I mean, what is going to happen is sudo's just going to get alias to Run Zero, and then backwards compatibility. No one's even going to know sudo's actually gotten replaced. And that's pretty much the gist of it. I would also say... what was it? Before Run Zero, there was... What was the other sudo? The one that's better than sudo out right now. It's been out forever. And people were saying you should use that. DoAs. Yeah, DoAs was it. Thank you, guys. Yeah, that was the other one that's been forever. Hey, we should be doing it this way kind of thing. Let's go to tweaks or actually config. We're going to just create shortcut. Was it on tweaks? Yeah, create shortcut. So we'll create that. Save it. Perfect. And if we pull up our... Oop. Oh, dang it. Let's go... Well... Okay, I did launch that incorrectly. All right, let's come over here. Maybe try and launch it over on this one. Okay, that's better. Just didn't like that. Hey, everybody yesterday was being like, the DWM stuff's boring. I'm like, I know. Let's go desktop. Let's make sure this runs. Should relaunch. And yes. All right, that's good. Close that out. I'm going to go ahead and delete. Delete that. Close. We're just doing testing of this PR. The next thing, let's create the Windows utility. Hit cancel. I think it was getting hung up on a cancellation when you go to create shortcut. So that all looks good. That PR is checked off and we're good. Moving to the next. Add a bunch of open source applications. Yeah. This is where I this is starting to get, yeah, my views. I talked a little bit on this about too many, like, big FOSS ops are cool, like GIMP and other stuff is, yeah, I know. I could fix the chat, but then I can't see the chat as much, so I'm like, I don't know. Yeah, it's a shortcut to run it, so you don't have to launch PowerShell. Which app do you use for mail? My browser. I used to be a big Outlook junkie back when I was checking my email a bunch, and I kind of switched off of that. I went and said, you know what? I only want to check my email twice a day. Once in the beginning of my day and then once at the end of my day, mainly for productivity purposes. So after I kind of redid that, I stopped leaving a mail application running all the time, because once I don't want notifications all the time popping up going, you got mail. That's like not a good way to be productive. If you have like a job in support or something and you're running tickets, sure, that might be okay. But for me, it was making me extremely ADD and causing massive productivity loss. So I don't believe in mail apps. I think they're bad. I think it's just a bad habit to be in for most people. And if you're just using mail, whether that's, Outlook.com or Gmail or whatever your, Proton Mail, whatever it is, just use your browser. I don't think there's really a point in having a mail app anymore, because email should not be the primary focus of your computer work. Unless you're just sitting there and your whole job is to respond to emails, then, well, of course. But for most people, you actually get paid to actually be productive. It's like being in meetings. I hate email. I hate meetings. Anything involving real people, I'm not kind of out on. So take this with a grain of salt, but that's just my thoughts. Yeah, this is GlazeWM. So if you guys want the window manager for Windows, that's what I'm using for a lot of my Windows stuff. Yeah, I like that. And what ones we got here? Most of these PRs look like to be old stuff, like installing Java 18 and Java 16 and Java 17. Oh, no, we need to. I think we're going to also do our own PR today and kill a bunch of applications. There's some trialware that's made it in the utility, like Start All Back. It's about to get the axe. Old versions of Java. No. Just use newer Java. Those types of things. There's some niche cases for the use case of some old stuff, but a majority of people are going to be using new. So that's kind of my thought. This one, we're going to actually close this PR. Denied. Well, we could just have LTS Javas. I like that. That's not a bad one. Yeah, LTS Java in the latest only, to be honest. I agree with that. That is the way to be. It's too much. grep, Emacs, Nano, IceCat, SuperTux. Yeah. Yeah, this is super old. These apps, this could piss people off, but these apps are kind of pointless on Windows. Sorry. I hate to say that, but I mean, guys, I love to be on the FOSS train when I can, but come on, what are we doing? What are we doing? Developer edition of Firefox, beta, nightly? What? All... Nobody's gonna use this crap. Cute browser, I like, but it's super niche and frankly, doesn't really have a place for Windows. Pale Moon, again, super niche. I don't think there's been a lot of updates. We probably check that one, maybe. Grep, Emacs, Nano, IceCat. They just don't work very well in Windows, if at all. And there's better alternatives. SuperTuxKart. Come on. You're not going to install SuperTuxKart if you're on Windows. You install Steam and play your paid games. And then CatchyOS, or however you say it, you got WSL. That's just better. There's a couple niche cases for the use of that, but they're niche and not really need. Yeah. I hate to tell people that. but let's not go too overboard with FOSS on Windows, because some things in FOSS, absolutely amazing. That's nothing here, though. That's gonna make that guy mad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. I'm really apologizing. I feel bad on that one. Let's keep going. Let's go additions. What do we got? Net limiter, one commander, borderless gaming. Oh my God, is this still a thing? Borderless gaming? It is still a thing. Wow. I guess maybe some like old stuff. There are, yeah. I remember I did actually use it for Elden Ring. For some odd reason, borderless game is kind of needed for Elden Ring because they kind of screwed the pooch on some of the implementations of Elden Ring. Pale Moon is good. Okay, yeah. I kind of was like a little bit on the fence on Pale Moon. Nostalgic with the old Firefox one. Okay, okay. Yeah, borderless gaming. So borderless gaming is if you want to have, like, let's say there's a full screen app and the developer kind of sucks at making programs in Windows. What they'll do is they will only have a windowed mode and they'll only have a full screen mode. They won't have a borderless window mode. This is very rare in 2024, but it still happens from time to time. See Elden Ring. I think Elden Ring had a crappy borderless mode. They might have patched it, but I remember it was a problem. And you had to go to windowed mode and then use borderless gaming that basically strips out the border and then maximizes it to your monitor. There's a couple other niche cases for borderless gaming. It's a $4 Steam app, I think, or you could compile it yourself through their GitHub, but it's just kind of weird. Elgato Stream Deck probably would want there. A free file sync. I don't think I've ever used that one. Is this freeware? Is it open source? Looks ancient. Open source file synchronization right at the top. Okay. Yeah, I guess. I mean, you got sync thing is probably what I'd use, but maybe there's some stuff there. I'm not against it. It looks like a cool project. Has anybody used free file sync? I don't know if I've had that. This has got a very 90s vibe to it. Yeah, Stardock Curtains is a paid app, isn't it? Yeah. I want to get rid of a lot of, yeah, so if we go, yeah, free trial. I don't want any trialware. We're going to be getting rid of all the trialware on the toolbox. I just don't like that. Yeah, I still use Tron from time to time. It's rare you really run into a virus much these days, though. Yeah, why would you use anything over sync thing? Sync thing's so great because it's just so agnostic. I love it. Yeah, like, I don't mind installing, like, apps that are popular. or maybe if it's a really cool app that I'm like, wow, that really does a lot. More people should do that. I'll probably make a video about that app kind of thing. Most of these, I kind of want to just deny this, except for maybe Stream Deck. Stream Deck's probably a big one that most users have. One Commander's a modern file manager. Can't say I've used this one before. One Commander. Okay. I like the aesthetic. Looks cool. Kind of reminds me of Files. You guys remember Files v2? That's an open source one. Professional and commercial uses provides but free for home use. So I wouldn't be against that. That's fine for commercial use. Maybe. Yeah, that one actually looks cool. Kind of want to try it out. Let's just go old school with it and just do a manual install. See what it looks like. Just want to make sure it doesn't have like a nag screen or some crap. Is there a size limit to a PowerShell script? Not that I'm aware of. I would imagine we would have hit it by now. Because we're at 10,000 something lines. At one point in time, we were at 12,000 lines. And that was a lot of code. We've streamlined to some stuff, so it's not as big. So we have one commander now. What does that even look like? All right, choose a theme. Yep, standard. Huh. Okay. I don't think it jives well with my my window manager. Ah. All right, there we go. I like that icon pack. Ah, no, let's go old school. Well, actually, nah, I'm gonna go a little bit more on that side of things. Megabyte definition, international standard, yeah, sure. Show file sizes, sure. Interesting. Okay. Rob's raiding us. How's it going, man? This is kind of cool. Yeah, I like it. Kind of gives me some old school vibes. I don't mind one commander. Okay. I think we just need to modify the PR is what we're going to end up doing. Let's come here. We're going to just quit out of that. What do we have? All right, so we have the one commander. That's a neat net limiter. I think I've actually used that in the past. Another one is a simple wall. Paid tool. Yeah. What is the paid tool for it? Let's see. You can buy it. Yeah, it's on a time-limited subscription, Trialware. Removing Trialware from this PR is what we're going to do. So net limiter, Trialware. Borderless Gaming, Trialware. Equalizer, APO. I don't know about that one. Hey there, I always wanted a service running locally on Windows that could proxy commands for my VM running as a guest on the host with a service listener. Best way to do that. So you locally on a Windows that could proxy commands from a VM running as guest. I'm trying to wrap my brain around that question real fast, Rod. So to play a clip, for example. Okay. I gotcha. Probably the best way to do that. Have you used StreamerBot? StreamerBot has a lot of stuff that you can just hit with your Steam Deck and you can do any kind of automation that you want through that. I understand what you're asking. I think that way of doing things is not exactly the way I'd approach it. I probably would just use StreamerBot for any automation. But if you wanted to take that approach and you had like a specific program that you wanted to make, because I know you code quite a bit, I would probably do like an old school of making a Windows service. Like obviously there's the traditional modern day Windows service. Like if you're over here and you want to create a service, you could use SC. Kind can we get a SC readout? A lot of times you can create a service using SC like this and create like whatever program you make it into a Windows service using SC, or there's some limitations with using SC and you can get around those. Like specifically if you needed like elevation to work with some like lower level hardware, and maybe that's exclusive. I'm not sure on the Steam Deck whether or not you can hit it or not. But another way of making a service too that's kind of interesting is, this is funny, but it's from like the early days of Windows Server. Windows Server Tools 2003, I think it was. I can't remember which one it was. It was a resource kit. Here it goes. Yeah, this kit tools, I think it was. Oh, it's not there anymore. But there was actually a service creation tool that could wrap your service in like a SVC host, I think it was. They actually got rid of it, it looks like, but you could grab RK tools from GitHub. Which one was it? I want to say it was like service. What was it? You could actually just grab the exe. SRV any. That's what it was. So you could wrap it with SRV any and then create any like file you want as a Windows service. And that still works today on Windows 11. So it's a great way of getting around any kind of limitations you have if you're working with services. Yeah, so if you do run into admin privileges using SC, Rob, check out just using the platform tools from Windows Server 2003, and you can wrap srv any.exe with, oh geez, I actually used it to hack EverQuest back in the day. We're getting a little bit on the old side of things, as this would have been over 20 years ago. But there was actually, God, I think it was like MacroQuest 2 wiki. And it actually is where I grabbed the idea from. I don't even know if it's even, is that even a thing anymore? Maybe MQ2. Let's see. Do they even have a website anymore? They might have taken it down. I think it went from, this used to be like an open source project, but I don't think it is anymore. Yeah, I think they actually removed it. Well, sad. Anyways, yeah, you can read documentation on how to use serve any. I just remember that's where I found it from. Okay. Oh man, yeah, it's actually 30 expansions now, David, for the old EQ, old EverQuest. I was a huge EverQuest player for back in the day. It's actually where I first, geez, I've made probably over $10,000 on that game. Just by, oh man, never mind. I don't want to tell people this. Let's continue with this pull request. Yeah. Oops. I was one of those dirty RMTers. I was like, wait, what am I doing? Let's not say that. Yeah. I was actually referred to as Noob Hacker. That was or Haxor was my screen name. I made a variety of macro tools. So you could bot and run like a full group, completely automated. And how I differed from many other creators out there that made different macros was mine was completely like fully automated. Specifically, the cleric is what I focused on the most for a lot of the development. And it would be to a point to where as you level up, it would auto scribe your spells and then switch out to the different spells. And I got so good with my macros that I could beat any cleric, any human cleric in healing, hands down. Usually I could outperform 2 or 3 raid level clerics. I mean, pretty damn good. And I mean, that was kind of insane. Another one that I used a lot in a different MMO was, I didn't make this one. It was for Final Fantasy 11. Because Final Fantasy 11 had some crazy mechanics for White Mage. And you could never be a very good healer in that game. And I could outperform like an entire group of white mages because of all the wacky reading certain debuffs and how that the healing mechanics in that game work. It's kind of cool. I love those old games that have such complexity that you can't even play them to 100% effectiveness. Where like new MMOs kind of feel brain dead to me because anybody can do it. Like you just take someone with just, as long as they have a heartbeat, they can get to about 100% efficiency pretty quick with modern MMOs. But back then with those MMOs, man, oh, you had to, like, you couldn't be as efficient as a lot of my macros or bots. There's no way you could even get close to the performance. Anyways, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for going down that rabbit hole, but man, that was a fun time. All right, let's look at this. This is a free tool. I just don't know what it is. System-wide equalizer for Windows 7 through 11. Okay. That's neat. I like it. And I think that's where we'll leave this one. Let's change the look at the PR. Let's modify. Oh, crap. Can we... Oh, I don't want to change it here. I don't really care about most of this. I do want to grab a couple of those, but I don't. I'm trying to think of the best way to do this. Yeah. Let's just go back. On this PR. Review in code space. Has anybody used the new code space? Let's try and use the new GitHub code space. Ooh. All right, here we go. We're building the code space. It's really fast. Let me just wait on this one. Are we almost there? So it's like a virtualized VSCode in your browser. Okay. Well, I said review in code space. Maybe it needed to build it first. Let's try it again. All right. Resume this code space. Yeah, I don't know. Like, it should like pull up the PR, right? So if we look at the pull request. God, this just sucks. I can't. That just... Why? Why is that even a thing? Ugh. All right, anyways. Moving on. Let's just do our own PR. I feel like we should probably be reviewing PRs. If we want to be faster at this, reviewing them directly from like VS Code would be ideal. So let's do that. And we can just go... I think it's an extension. And probably the best way, we got GitLens, but I want to say source control might... No, I had an extension at one point in time that does PRs pretty darn good. I don't think it was GitLens though. Maybe it was. How does everybody like to do PRs? Yeah, I feel like there was a good extension I was using once upon a time, and then I switched around this, and it became... Maybe I lost it. What extensions do I have installed? I have 30 extensions installed, so... Yeah, here it is. GitHub pull request. That's the one I want. Should be fine. So you just add the pull request in here, and then you can review all your pull requests directly in. 21 million people use it, so it must be good. Oh, you think. But I don't see... Huh. Okay. Yeah, a lot of people have been asking about CatchyOS. I don't know what that is. We could look. What is CatchyOS? I saw like chat just spamming it. CatchyOS. A blazing fast OS. Customized Linux distro. What's it based on? Distribution built on Arch Linux. Uses an optimized Linux CatchyOS kernel. Utilize an advanced Bohr scheduler. You could just install TKG and specify Bohr scheduler if you wanted to go that route. I think when we did our kernel, we didn't do Bohr scheduling. I think we did... Oh, geez. I want to say RTS or something. That's not it. I can't remember the scheduler. It wasn't Boar though that we ended up using on this one. I don't know. Why wouldn't you just use Arch? That's the big question. Yeah, PDS. That's what we used. Not PDS, not RTS. TKG is the best if you're looking for just speed and stuff. Oh, Catchy's better than Nobara for you. Okay. So what's the catch for Catchy? Why bother with this Linux distro? Why wouldn't I just use Arch? What's the deal? What's the selling point? Because this isn't a selling point. You'd use TKG and get even better performance. Okay, I guess easier install with Calamares. Why are you guys spamming this to me? Just themed Arch, right? Are you guys like the CatchyOS devs and you're just coming into my stream, spamming it, going, hey, let's look at it so I can roast your iOS? Because I'm going to roast it if this is it. If this is your website and you're just saying I'm using a custom kernel, I'm going to be like, what are you doing? Just use Arch with TKG if you want a custom kernel. That's what it feels like to me. Before I pass judgment, though, I want to think the worst of people. Let's see. Let's read some more. Maybe there's something else. Seamless install. Okay. Okay. Little barren on the site there. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like there's nothing here. There's nothing in this that I would be like, wow, we got to install this distro. Yeah, and I mean, Arch install is kind of goofy. I will give you that. But there's a billion other distros that do even better than this new one. Like, why wouldn't you just use Manjaro? Why wouldn't you use Garuda? Why wouldn't you use Endeavor? Like, what are you doing different? What's the gimmick? I'm looking for gimmicks. At the end of the day, if you ever watched any of my videos and you watch the one where I go over the tier list and there's only two at the top, Debian and Arch, because everything's based on those two for the most part. And most other things don't even matter. We're just talking about it. I don't get it. I don't get it. Anyways, yeah, I'm not installing that. I have zero interest in trying yet another Arch-based distro. Anywho. I mean, I'm just saying, like, the site's pretty barren. And the only thing I see that's a little different is they're using a Boar scheduler with a custom OS, custom kernel, but just use TKG and select Boar when you're walking through the install. Anywho. Continue on this PR. Where were we at? Where was I at? Oh, yeah, I was working on the PR. I wanted to get the extension for the PR over here. I think, oh, yeah, that's right. I'm using Cursor, which is a little different than VSCode. So, yeah. It's written right there. It's faster. It's got the flux capacitor in it. It's based on Arch, but we supercharged it. We put some NOS on it. Oh my god, get out. I'm not falling for that bullshit. All right. Oh, okay, there's an entry called GitHub that probably got that functionality. Oh, I'm not signed in. Let me sign in real fast. 1 second. Glad I did that. It sure enough showed my IP and oh yeah, my two-factor on here too. Okay. And come on, two-factor. All right, fine. Well, I guess I'm gotta use my phone. Let's look at that. GitHub on phone. Yes. All right. All right, we're authenticated now, finally. Took me long enough. All right, let's see. So, all right, now we got it. Yeah, you were right with that, by the way. I'm going to pin this guy. Let's unpin source control. And I think that's good. Now, we're going to work on the PRs directly from here instead of doing it on the web. Why not use security keys for all the times you're signing in? So, Will, yeah, you should. Typically, there's the sign in and then there's the two-factor after that, which should use like a security key. Use this in DW. Get out of here, Peter. Oh, that's awesome. Well, we're kind of doing it. Wait, we're kind of doing it in DWM. I mean, it's the base system, so, you know, we're kind of doing it in DWM. Kind of. It's a nested version of Windows in a DWM workspace, so, I mean, still kind of there. It's DWM Windows. All right, let's look at this. Description. Oh, this is much better. Okay. Remove WhatsApp. Oh, okay. Just a simple removal, it looks like. Like it. Is there anything else? I think that's it. So just that for removal. Is there anything else in here? I don't see anything there. So that looks good. It's to the test branch. I like it. Let's squash and merge. Let's approve. And then I like this a lot better. Why haven't I been using this method? That's cool. Sublime Text or Notepad++. I mean, Notepad++ is still kind of, it's kind of goated, man. Like, Notepad++ was like one of the very first editors that I use. And honestly, I still install it on all my Windows instances today. Don't really use it in Linux, of course, but for Windows, I still use Notepad++ all the time. Sublime Text, I just never really got into. It was never my thing. Yeah. The chat is going off the screen. I did that just so I could read the chat. Chat started going kind of crazy. So yeah, some of it does go off the screen. I probably should fix it. Here, I can fix it. But then I can't read as much chat, so I'm going to just miss even more. Although, maybe I could do a doc or something. Oh, that's not so bad. Yeah, okay. I got it. I got it right here. I think we're good. All right, so we're removing WhatsApp because it's out of date per my Drift user. Even if he's trolling me, I can appreciate this troll because we're removing a Facebook modified app. Either way, that's a win. So even if he's wrong, it's like we're removing WhatsApp. I'm kind of okay with that. You probably shouldn't use WhatsApp anyways. Alrighty, let's squash and merge. Trying this out. And merged. That's cool. I dig it. All right, we got KeyPass, XC. Anything else that's being added here? So add RustDesk and that. I thought we already had RustDesk. Yeah, the whole Linus thing was that was really Pop OS's bad. They modified apt, and there was an apt bug to where if you didn't update your system, then if you tried to install a package, it would uninstall Xorg. And that's why Linus broke his system. It's kind of Pop OS's fault though. Although, I mean, most IT people well, the reason why it kind of went unchecked is because almost everybody, after you install your system, doesn't matter if it's Mac, Windows, Linux, every like IT guy out there will do the exact same thing no matter the operating system. We'll install it, and then right after we install it, we update it. Whether it's Linux, whether it's Mac, whether it's Windows. Who installs something directly from media and doesn't do a full system update afterwards? And I'd say that probably just be devil's advocate here. If you're trying something new, maybe he just didn't know how to update the system, and that's why he just proceeded to install applications without updating it. Or you could have some neckbeards out there that just said, hey, you never need to update Linux. There are those people that exist. You still need to update Linux, guys. That's still a big thing. So, yeah. Yeah, Rest Desk is already there. That's what I thought, at least. Huh. Rust Desk. Let's see. If we look at here, let's pull up the applications JSON. So you got that. You got Rust Desk. But if you look, Rust Desk is down here. So you'd be adding it twice. That's no good. Okay, let's just check it out. We need to modify this. And I think we have KeyPass too. Damn it, guys. You gotta check that out. What? KeyPass? Do I have like something stuck? What's going on here? KeyPass XC. It's already there. KeyPass XC. Oh man, I'm having one of them days. PR, adding a bunch of apps we've already added. Okay, 2 for 2 so far. And then we got Shility. I don't even know what that is. All right. Denying this PR. 2 of the 3 apps are there already, and the third chat app I have never heard of. Nope. Oh man, it's unfortunate. Let's close this PR. We're not gonna do anything with that. Do you want to close this pull request? Yes. Alrighty, and let's go back to main. Where are we at? We actually need to be on the test branch. Let's go back to test. Yeah, I'll look at it here in a bit, Kingroot. I'm gonna just try and finish some PRs. Actually get some work done today. Hopefully. Let's see what we got. Come on. Option remove Copilot. Let's see what we got with this guy. Alrighty, so first one, we're grabbing and getting the Apex package of Copilot, and then removing it, doing a registry entry into current user, software, Microsoft Windows, Explorer Advanced, getting rid of the show Copilot button, and then setting Copilot to off, and also the new user. Okay, it's not that bad. I like it. Do we have anything else? Okay. I think we'll check this out and see what we get. Let's just go terminal. And we're going to switch to this branch. Just check out the pull request. Getting back to the test branch I find is a little difficult. And I feel like we could just like hit this in the bottom and then just switch back to the test branch pretty easily. But this does make checking out and then maybe running the app a little bit on the easier side. I think we could even do like a sudo and run it. Although I think with execution bypass, we should be okay. make a new window that can be launched from WinUI for installing upgrading apps? Possibly. I mean, there's also WinGet UI that you could use. It's a good app. Yep. Oh, yep. Sticking with Arch for now. Yeah, either Arch or Debian. That's where it always ends up. Yeah, Peter definitely got me on that. Yeah, I think the big thing is backups. Like, you know, that's where you can get back to where you need to be. That's the best thing you can possibly do. Is just have good backups. Which, you know, this past bit after doing Bazite, I didn't think we really had a good backup using Timeshift, but I was wrong. Timeshift copied all the boot files, all the root files, all the home files, and I was able to restore that pretty effectively, just changing like the UUIDs around. I really didn't think it would work, but it did. So that was a nice surprise. I like this pull request, by the way. Let's check it out. So we come over to terminal after checking it out. You'll see that we're on PR 1898. Let's try to do sudo WinUtil. Oh, actually, let's do a compile real fast. And then let's go sudo WinUtil. Ah. If I do WinUtil, I don't think it launches, does it? Yeah. I was kind of hoping I could do sudo directly from the terminal in VSCode. That would be kind of cool. Anywho, let's come back over to here. And actually, we're going to just go into a new prompt. And Z WinUtil. Ah, all right. So what I want to do here is let's enable the Copilot button real fast. I know, blasphemy. But we need to check this. Where is Copilot? Oh, damn. Did I already remove it from this install? Might have been messing around earlier. Can we get like a Copilot garbage? Where's the garbage at? Copilot. Oh, maybe not. Oh, I gotta install the garbage to remove the garbage. Oh, yeah. All the stuff's actually saved. I actually edit all these streams and then upload them after the fact, Peter. It usually just takes me about a week to do it. So everything you see, any of my streams, Titus Tech Talk is just strictly edited down streams that you could watch. So it just removes the silence between me thinking. And it does a pretty good job. I have a little tool called Recut that does a great job of that. So all these streams will be uploaded to Titus Tech Talk. I'm trying to get to the point where I can do enough streams in a week that every 2 days there'll be that stream coming out. So it's like a cool mixture. Still tinkering around with the release schedule and just trying to get enough live streams going to where I can fill it out about every 48 hours is what my plan is. We'll see. Copilot got disabled in the latest dev builds because of bugs. Ah, that's what happened. Okay, thank you, AH. I'm on the dev build, and that's exactly what happened. I was roasting it in my 24H2 video. Maybe someone from Microsoft saw that. And I was like, Copilot is awful. Look at how terrible it is. And then I like showed Copilot messing up and couldn't even launch. Couldn't even empty the recycle bin, much less find the recycle bin. I was like, this thing is worthless. It's just sitting there gobbling up all the user data and can't even spit out a good prompt. If you're going to at least steal all my data, at least like make it better. And it didn't. So anyways, Copilot's gone in this version on my dev build. Damn it. So I can't really test it. Well, I guess I can test it. Let's just make sure it didn't break anything, I suppose. Let's go to tweaks. And where was this added? I want to say Copilot would have been, maybe it was in config. Where did it get added? Oh, Copilot might have been added directly to the actual tweaks. and not as a secondary option. Oh, no, there it is. I can't read. Remove Copilot. So let's just, we don't need a restore point. Let's just do that. So you got AI Copilot. You got Client Copilot initialized. I can't really downgrade without reinstalling. Sad to say. Elon will make the Terminator. Don't worry. I won't have to worry about it that much then. All right, Phoenix. Well, you let me know when you get finished with that Glaze config. I can't wait to see it. I think this bombed out on us. It's still running. We can check to see if it's actually doing anything, but I don't think it is. Let's see. Well, it says it is. I think that just... Oh, shoot. Okay, yeah. Damn, how big's Copilot? Damn, that's taking a good bit of time. It's really chomping. Unless it's in a loop. It does look like it's chomping away at it, but... Let's take a look at that code again while it's doing this in the background. So it's just doing a get appx copilot and removing any copilot slash application it finds, and then just two registry entries. We do need to expand this with the undo script though. So if people want copilot back and you're just crazy like that, we could do it. Can you do a video on how you customize your PowerShell to a nice theme? Fad, I'm glad you said that. Got something good for you. I already cooked it up, already made the video. The video drops on the 4th, I think. When's the 4th? Yes, Saturday the 4th. Right here at 6:15 Central Time. That's when the new PowerShell, I forget what I called it. It's something about PowerShell though. That theme is going to be there. I think this is broken. Yeah. May the 4th be with the prompt. That's right. I'm going to be working all on the 4th, though. That's not going to be fun. That's when I'm going to be moving all those PCs into the new suite. Yeah. Not looking forward to that, but... Yeah, Copilot looks like it's bombing out on us. I don't think this type of removal method will be okay. Sad to say. Just because it's such an integral part, and Microsoft's tying this more into the system more and more. Removing Copilot's probably going to cause more bugs than it'll fix. I think we got to find a different way of removing it. Possibly not doing the AppX removal, but just disabling it is probably the best we can get away with. It's kind of like Cortana. You remember Cortana, whenever you'd remove it, it breaks search and a whole bunch of stuff. Copilot is basically, I feel like we're in like a Scooby-Doo episode where it's like, who's the masked villain really behind this? And we pull off the Copilot mask and it's just Cortana sitting there. That's what this feels like to me. It does feel like a little bit like they added a couple more things on top of Cortana. But I think they just renamed Cortana Copilot and then added another AppX on top of it, which is AI Copilot. I have a feeling that's exactly what happened. And they just took because Cortana got removed mysteriously around the time Copilot showed up. And I think that's what happened here. I really do. I just don't see, because a lot, I ran into the same problem when I was stripping Cortana out of the system. It would just get stuck. A lot like this. And it's doing a lot, and there's a lot of dependencies like Windows Search, specifically on Cortana, which now is gone. And now this, I bet you, if this actually did succeed, I bet you our Windows Search would stop working. Like start menu search. Yeah. Well, to do the Cortana thing, a lot of it you just want to disable from either a registry or a GPO setting. So I think Microsoft just recycled part of Cortana and then expanded it with Copilot. So probably the best way, what we should probably do with this, I would actually remove this section right here, and then we would probably just set the item property. Now, that's not like a removal per se, it's more of a disable. So we probably would need to rename this to disable Copilot. And then for the undo script, we'll take this back. Look at that. Copilot tells me how to put it back in there. Double check Copilot. Thanks, Copilot. Yeah. Yeah, Copilot helped me to add Copilot back in. All right, cool. I think that's what we do. And it actually got it right. That's a rare Copilot W there. Oh, man. All right, so with these in, let's just... I think that looks pretty good. Let's do another compile. Just double check. So we'll get rid of these. That's going to be part of the compile script, and then we'll recommit to there, and then check it again. So let's come into third workspace. All right. And we're just going to do another compile and WinUtil. Let's go tweaks. We're going to just clear them all and say disable Copilot and say run tweaks. And then it just runs that one tweak. And then if we want to add it back, we can just click it again and then just say undo tweaks. And then Copilot would drop back in if we weren't on the dev build. So that is good. Now to double check that, let's look back here and we're going to actually close that out. We can see this is going to be in HCU, Software Policies, Microsoft Windows, and current version Explorer Advanced, Show Copilot, and also Windows Copilot subkey should be gone. So if we look at policies, let's take a peek. Oh, let's see. Hello, old man. How's it going? All right. We're going to be current users, software, Microsoft, Windows, current version, and then I believe it's Explorer. And then under Advanced, we should see the Show Copilot button. Yes, it is there and it is enabled. So that's the first one, first registry entry to check. Now we got to check to see if the subkey is there. So under current users, I believe software and then policies, Microsoft. We should have under Windows, current version, or no, was it Explorer? I think it was just Windows, and then there would be a subkey or the subfolder of Windows Copilot, if I remember correctly. That was it, and it's gone. That's exactly what we need. Awesome sauce. So that works great. Let's go ahead and commit this. What we'll do, come back over to here. Let's discard these changes. Don't show again, discard, discard, and discard. And these are the only tweaks that we're doing. Bit of a modification, but it's kind of what we want. It's not the best solution, but at least it's something. So if someone wants to disable Copilot from the toolbox, they can disable it without breaking their system. So that's why we removed the AppX removal of Copilot. One, it got stuck, And then 2, I still worry that it is Cortana under the blankets. And I think it will probably break the start menu search and other things that they're blending in. And if you don't like it, you know, I think really going forward in future versions with Windows 12 and future versions of Windows, this is just going to get more and more egregious. We can kind of stem the bleeding a little bit with like a big band-aid, and that's basically what this is. But it's just going to continually get worse. The infection will continue to spread because it is Windows. So we're just trying to make Windows as usable as long as possible. And that's really the whole job of the toolbox. We can't fix Windows, but we can make it suck less. And that's really the justification here. And if you're like, hey, I don't want to get spied on, I don't want a bunch of AI crap, I don't want any of this, you know, big corporation telling me what to do, what are you doing? Just install Linux at that point. So that's kind of where my thought process is with Windows. And what I'm trying to achieve with the Windows Toolbox is just make it bearable for most users. Make it to where they don't have to use Linux if they don't want to yet. But it should be on your mind that, hey, we need to support Linux. We need to support free and open source software because of shenanigans like this. It's just there. So that's just my take on that. Bugs, fix bugs, remove app X caused a lockup. Also, looks like Copilot will be the dependency for some built-in Windows searches. If I was a betting man, that's what I'd say. Due to this, I am changing it from a removal to a disable. Let's commit that and push. Why does that say 19? I wonder. Anyhow, let's switch back to our test branch. And then we should be able to look at this PR again. Let's close this. GitHub. If we look at the tweaks, we'll see these are the changes we've made. So now we can go through the description of the PR. Disable. And let's approve and merge into the test. All right. Yeah, I don't know what the 19 was on that particular branch. Maybe, I don't know. Could have been just a bug. What is the best way to learn Git? I made a quick video on the basics of Git, but really you gotta just use GitHub, like create a project, whatever it is, and then just kind of go back and forth, understanding, hey, what commit is, what a push pull is, and then tags probably would be another one. Understanding maybe rebasing if you have multiple branches. There's a lot that goes into GitHub, and frankly, I'm no expert. I just really like it because it gives me a lot of really, really good collaboration requests specifically with a ton of other developers. So I'm able to learn a lot more from other people and also help others, which I think is great. Yeah, I'm in Texas. Oh, there's a video game that uses Git. Oh, that's cool. A video game. That's neat. Our RWX Rob made a GitHub account. Oh boy. A lot of AI training before his account was validated. Wow. Okay, I'll have to check that out, Peter. All right. I think that is good. And if we hit enter, we should be on the test branch. Yeah. Let's see what we got here. This description. Remove Authy. Let's close that out. Authy reached end of life March 2024. No longer supporting the desktop app. Ah, end of an era. Bummer. All right, well, let's look at the applications JSON. Removal. All right. Thank you, Doozy, for this one. That's a pretty straightforward PR. I like it. Only 5 lines changed, and it's just a nice cleanup of the app. Just an old application that's no longer valid. I like it. Squash and merge. What happened to Atom? Yeah, Atom, I think just not enough people used it, so they pretty much got rid of it. I know some of the devs moved on, and we talked a little bit about, oh, we did a stream on it. What was that, Zed? I think it was the Zed editor. That had a lot of Atom-esque edits in it and stuff. And then, well, this is kind of a funny tidbit. I probably should do a video because it's a little bit ridiculous. But you guys remember the dev that made Thorium? I still get crap about this, but such is life. Like, Thorium's still the browser I'm using, right? Well, check this out. Thorium rocks. I know, you can call me a furry fan if you want. But he actually... Oh, God, I think it was in here. I think it was in his GitHub. I was looking through it the other day. And you guys are going to laugh. But I think he forked Atom. I don't know how much time he has in the day, but between Thorium and all the other projects that he's doing, it's kind of impressive. Like, he even has like Thorium OS, which is like a Chrome OS spinoff of Thorium. And then he went and took this, which, God, where is his GitHub? Atom NG. I just saw it. Come on, Chris. Focus. My old man eyes are failing me. I saw it in here. All right, let's see. Atom. Here it is. He literally brought Atom back to life. You gotta love the dedication of this guy. From bringing it back to life from Atom.io. So if you're like a huge fan of Atom, this guy made a fork of it and released it. And I'm like, get out of here. And put it on GitHub. Let's see. I'll put it in chat. The furry Atom. I haven't seen any furry pictures yet, but don't quote me on that. We could have them hidden in here. Is this even going to load? What's going on? Let's try it again. Oh, it's... Oh, archive.org is down, isn't it? Okay, that's fine. Let's see. Atom in G. Okay, let's see if this is available. GitHub should be available. What about Florp? You know, I'm just not big on Firefox. You know, I used Florp for a little bit, but it just had some inconsistencies, and it wasn't as snappy as my extremely fast Thorium. As it sits here and chugs away and refuses to load this page. Did my internet go out? No, I'm still live, so that's fine, I guess. So here's Atom, and then Atom NG. All right, Phoenix, I'll take a look at it here in a second. Well, just taking forever to load. What's up with that? Let's look at our task manager. What do we got going on here? I don't really have any sending and receiving on here. Huh. Okay. Yeah. GitHub. It's downloading a bunch of art. Let's see if we can pull up his page. Can we even pull up GitHub? Huh. Let's just close it. Maybe there's something happening with another page. Let's try that one more time. Okay. We're in business. So yes, it does work. Last release was February 20th. My birthday. How about that? All right, we're here. It's always DNS. Let's see. Can we copy? Oh, I don't have copy paste from here. Anywho, he does have an Atom NG. That's kind of cool. So that is a thing. Pull request merged. Done. Done and done. Are you sure the Windows Update tweaks description is correct? Should be. I'll take a look at it. We can try it, OB. Here, let's just look at the updates. It's been a little bit since I verified, and this is the new dev channel using 24H2. So let's just run it. We'll use the live one for this guy. So let's just do an IRM. And we'll go to updates, security updates. Okay, cool. Now let's verify. We'll go gpedit.msc. And let's just come into all settings. Then we'll just grab configured states. Oh, well then. I don't see anything on that front. Let's try over here. Does not look like that's configured. Let's check directly in the component store. Interesting. Windows Update. There's legacy policies, but those aren't configured. End user. Yeah. Sorry, guys. Flashbang it is. It's Windows. It's Windows. Get used to it. There is no dark mode in legacy panels. All right. Back in my day, this is how we all looked at stuff. You youngins don't understand the pain. This is how every control panel was. All right. Yeah, this does not look like it's doing it. Let's check our WinVer just to make sure. It does look like it's ignoring this. Really? Ah, oh, damn it. What are you doing to me, Microsoft? It is not working, it looks like. Well, that's a fix we gotta do. Let's get right on that. Thanks for the comment. What's going on? I'll be back to this. We're actually gonna have to do some real code instead of just review. Let's go into our functions, private, and we're gonna close that pull request real quick. Let's look for updates. I can't remember, where is that? I think that's under tweaks, actually. I think that's in the JSON file. Let's go. No, the updates would be separated out, I believe. So maybe that isn't in there. Let's see what it's calling. Invoke script. Okay, yeah, it's just directly invoking it from the public. So it is pulling this, but GP edit's not pulling these registry entries. Is it ignoring registry entries now? Might be. Wow. Hey, what's up, ALC? Yeah, I know, Phoenix. We'll look at it eventually. I just want to make sure we get these updates done. These security updates, that should reference them. Let's take a look at local machine Microsoft Windows Update UX. Oh, man, that's going to really suck if it ignores all these. Damn. I have to think up another way. All right, let's pull back. Let's come back. We're going to go HKLM, software, micro shaft, Windows, oops, Windows, and we're going to go Windows Update, right? No, it's actually Windows Update's its own key. Nothing's ever uniform with Microsoft, I swear. Okay, and then under the UX key, UX, and then settings. Yeah, it's still making the settings fine because you got deferred updates. There, you guys can't see that, can you? So you got deferred updates 365 for the feature updates, which is the maximum. And typically feature updates don't get pushed at least for a year. because the branch readiness level gets pushed to a 20, which is a little different. Are feature updates cumulative updates? No, those are security updates. Cumulative updates typically have bundled security updates in them, and they're not considered feature updates. Feature updates are the thing that change your version number. So if you always want to like, hey, what version number I'm on, the easiest way is just go start run or Windows R, WinVer. A feature update, it changes this number right here where it says version, and it'll take it from like 22H2 to 23H2 or 23H2 to 24H2. That's considered a feature update. So usually there's a massive amount of bugs that get introduced with those feature updates. They'll add Copilot. They'll add a whole change, you know, like storage sense back in, you know, geez, what was that? 1807, I think it was, when they did storage sense and deleted everybody's files and their documents. That was funny. You know, or a creator update. I think it was like, yeah, 2004. Anyway, or 1703 was creator update. That was probably my favorite. That was my favorite Windows 10 update. Anyways, yeah. I think we're going to have to find a new way to apply updates. What's that in-place upgrade holder, AH? Looks interesting. Let's see. Let's just take a peek at that. All right, let's see this upgrade helper tool. Changing product key, SLMGR. Okay, set up. Oh, that's just upgrading in place. So like if you ever want to switch your edition to like a pro edition, you could switch it to that. Interesting. Sometimes it does it automatically now. It's not terrible. But if you hadn't activated your system, you could use these keys to force the upgrade. What else we got? Dark mode. All right, let's see. Hugedomains.com. Huh. Well, that's interesting. Yeah. Well, that's kind of cool. I don't think I'm going to do any of that. I'll just use the... I don't pull this stuff up very often. I don't really care that much. Anywho. I'm kind of curious, though. Let's manually apply these update settings. Because... So usually, I would go enable. And then you can change where you can apply. I usually would switch this over. Apply that. Users can select optional updates to receive, and then select preview features. So I'd usually go to enable. How many days for feature update? So you go 365. I don't like pausing, so I would not suggest adding this, because honestly, all you can fill in is like 14 days or 30 days, something like that for the pause feature. It's not really even worth doing. So I would usually do that. Why does that keep coming up? We'll just minimize that. Quality updates. Usually I'll delay this 4 days. So if I'm setting like a manual GPO in like a domain, this is typically what I do. Disable safeguards for feature updates, enabling the setting when feature updates should be deployed to devices without blocking on any safeguard holds. Safeguard holds are known compatibility issues which block update from being deployed. Enforcing or enabling this policy will allow the organization to deploy feature updates to devices for testing, which you don't really want to do. You don't want to be the tester. You don't want to be the guinea pig. So we don't really want to do that. Do not include drivers in Windows updates. I'm a big fan of having this enabled. So I usually go enabled, apply. Manage preview builds, enabled. I wonder, what if I change this over here? So usually what I would do, I can't really change this because I'm part of the insider program on this build of Windows, but typically you reverse back to the last supported version, or the one you're on right now, and it holds it in place for at least a year. So I say it's 2 years, And what happens is when you select the channel, that's 1 year. And then you have the delays from the enable optional update for feature updates for 365. So you get 2 years of delays, but you're still grabbing all your security updates in the meantime. So that's the point of that. I wonder if I go release preview quality updates only. Let's see what happens. Because it should be fine. And then you can also specify a target version for feature updates. So if you're looking for targeting info, you can copy this. And what is that? Number 2? I think the window manager's kind of bombing out on me here. Let's go. So we should get a build here. So here's your builds. So let's say you wanted to target 22H2. The build would be this. And let's see, if you look at group policy, target version, and then you'd go like Windows 11, target version for feature updates. I think for the version, actually, we would just use the shorthand for this. So it'd be like 21H2, 23H2. Yeah, so right here, the supported versions are like 22H2. That's funny. I'm going to put like 24H2 in here, just see what happens. Technically, you wouldn't do this because nobody's on 24H2 yet. So I'm kind of curious to see what that does. All right, so then you have that. So that's the manage updates offered by Windows Update. Then you got Windows Server Update Service. That's if you have like a domain controller with WSUS enabled, or Windows Update or Windows Server Update Service. That's not you. Manage in-user experience. You can change how it auto restarts and things of that nature. Configure auto updates. We could enable that. And then just do auto download and notify for install. I would actually recommend that. And then I would never do install automatically. Let's close this out. If you really want to kind of get it granular, you can actually go max active hours range. I always like to enable this and then set 18 hours, and then it forces it within that window of active hours. You can even specify those hours as well. And I'm looking for anything else. Never specify a deadline. Remove access to pause update feature. Remove access to all Windows Update features. Yeah, I think all that's fine. Display options for update notifications enabled. Disable all notifications, excluding restart warnings. I feel like that's good. Yeah, that's about all I would do for updates. Is there any main ones here? No. And then you got legacy. So here's all the legacy stuff. This is morely applicable to like Windows 10 probably. I don't think most of this will probably get ignored. So I probably wouldn't even configure any of that. How about 20 pull-ups every time you blind us? Yeah, we could do that. Sorry. I mean, that's what's going to happen with group policy and regedit, because I don't want to edit that type of thing. So with that, after applying those edits, let's see how this would look. I kind of would just, do we have, let's just go terminal with admin. And I probably would just do like a GP update. Simple GP update should be fine. It should grab these settings. And then I kind of want to run the updates and see what happens. Like what does it actually say on the GUI is probably the thing that I'm most interested in here. Sorry, this stream kind of took a turn for the worse after I figured out that it's ignoring my registry settings. I'm like, I don't like that. So let's just close this out. So we got nothing open right now. I'm going to reboot, and it's going to pull down those registry settings again. Yeah, well, actually, Peter, I'm getting prepared for Murph coming up. That's why I'm not like wearing my wedding ring. That's why I got it like around my neck, like Frodo from The Hobbit or Lord of the Rings. Yeah, I just got my callus got so bad on my hands from all the pull-ups, because we'll be doing in a 20-pound vest, 100 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 squats, and then bookending it both with a mile run on the front and then the end of it. So that'll be fun. It's been good. We did a preliminary last week, which was, I think I did 10 rounds with the vest, which I think equated to about half that in about 20 minutes. Although my push-ups were looking pretty rough. At about 100 push-ups with a 20-pound vest, they were looking pretty sad. I'd be making fun of myself. All right, let's check these updates. Let's go settings, Windows Update. You got that under the channel broad. The question I have here is, if we're on the Windows Insider program and we use GP update to change our channel, can we ever switch back from the dev channel over? That's the thing. I'm like, I don't know. Now it still shows dev channel, and I don't think it'll ever switch from that, but maybe it'll catch up to it. It'd be kind of interesting. Yeah, you can't switch, but forcing what happens to those group policies, it probably just ignores it, I imagine. Have you tried Arc browser? No, not yet. I know it started with Mac, but I think they actually have a Windows client now. But a lot of my stuff's done in Linux, so Arc's not in Linux, and I'm kind of like, eh. I'm sure if you were only a Mac user or only a Windows user, it'd be fine. It looks interesting. I kind of crapped on it when it first came out because it was only on Mac. Yeah, the only way to get out of the dev channels to nuke and pave. Yeah, there's no more. Oh no, Murph's on Memorial Day. Every year they do Murph on Memorial Day in memory of of Murph, the what it's named after, the soldier that fell. So in memory of him for Memorial Day is why they do it on Memorial Day. All right, well, I think these updates are kind of borked right now, but I'll keep an eye on it, maybe for whatever reason, but it ignoring those registry keys is gonna just drive me crazy. So this used to work, but it does look like it's getting completely ignored now. We could do like a policy plus. Well, that would be another one to kind of force through these updates, because policy plus should work in both. Like, let's see. Let's say we're over here and you are unfamiliar with policy plus. I think we could probably do like some kind of integration with that. It's for all Windows versions, local group policy editor. Oh man, it hasn't been updated in like 3 years. I'd hate to base it off of this. A neat project though, if you're like a home user. But I have a feeling they're doing a lot of registry edits, much like I'm doing right on the background, and it's going to ignore a lot of that. Yeah, you can do the rules, I believe. To get it to enforce, I think you can just do like, I think it's a DISM command. I remember doing it before on home users, and it works okay. Or it used to work okay, I should say. I'm pretty sure they're going to start ignoring a lot of that, though. GlazeWM has been fun. All right, let's see. Anywho. Jeez. I'll have to troubleshoot that. I don't know what, just spitballing here. One way we could control updates, you could just make it to where it doesn't update, and then we could just like disable the Windows Update service, and then you just go in, re-enable it, run your updates, and then disable it again. I kind of don't like that though. because then there's going to be people that just disable it and then never come back. And that's not good either. So, I'll have to think of that. I'll have to think upon that just a bit more. All right, let's pull up this PR and keep going. VM will not hide your IP. No. No, your IP will get exposed in that regard. Unless you get like a VPN on that specific VM. Then it'll change that IP. External IP, that is. Is there a way to update Windows through CMD or PowerShell? There is. So if you want to do that, let's just, it's kind of funny. The background ended up being the same as my Linux install. I think I did an article on it. Sorry, Flashbang. PowerShell update, I think it is. Yeah, so it's an actual module. It's called PS Windows Update. And I made a little video about it. Probably like 5 people watched it. It's not exactly like riveting content for YouTube. But yes, you just use this module. This is in regular PS Gallery. And I think it's sanctioned by Microsoft. But you can install all the updates directly here. You can do list update, which I don't think I have that command listed anywhere. But mostly what we use it for in business is, let's say we want to push out an update and we're not using like Windows Server update services. And we're like, hey, we need to make sure all these get pushed to these computers. You can actually specify in a script, like a PowerShell script, and say, invoke this Windows Update job with these computers, and then run this script that imports the module, installs the Windows Update module, and runs that with Microsoft updates and forces all the computers in that up to date. That's what that command does. It just forces every computer to accept all the updates and go ahead and run them and auto reboot. But there's other commands that you can use for installing updates via command line. Another good reason is, like, let's say a virus infects a computer and you're trying to run Windows Update. And a lot of times the first thing a virus does is disable Windows Update. This would be a way to kind of get around that if they broke the GUI. And then you can do that. So an interesting point of view. So like if you do want to do Windows Update, you can do it directly from PowerShell using that module, though. It's a good question. I'm just excited because I was like, yes, I've already done a video on that. Nobody watched it, but I did a video on it. Except maybe King Root. Yeah, that was a good one, though. Let's see. Enable Windows Update service, run the command. Once it's done, then disable the service. Yeah, you can do that. I mean, frankly, it's already, the functionality is already there. So if you want to do that specific thing, let's just come into like a new workspace. Probably I would just launch the script, go to updates, disable updates, close that out, and then you should be fine. And let's see, I think by doing that it does require a restart. Let's just take a look. Flashbang time. Sorry guys, it's Windows, just get used to it. Doesn't even bother me anymore. So it is updated. You see how it's running, but it's disabled right now. I'm going to just emulate because I don't want to reboot. So we're just going to stop that. And then the other thing that Windows Update relies on, it actually uses bits, which is this background intelligent transfer service. That's how it actually transfers a lot of the files using Windows Update. So bits is actually a pretty big dependency of Windows Update. Not very much other stuff uses bits, so disabling is not, you shouldn't run into very many other issues. Maybe a couple here or there, but nothing too bad. So you disable that, you go into settings, and then when you go to run updates, let's say we check for updates, you can see, let's see, check. Let's see if it auto undoes it. Microsoft's getting So then let's check to see Windows Update. Oh, those shysters. Look at that. Yeah. They auto repaired it this time too. All right. Damn. Yeah, so it went ahead and re-enabled bits, and it also grabbed Windows now with 24H2. It kind of makes sense that they'd code that in. So that was one way we were disabling updates. So the disabled updates probably won't work anymore either. So we'll have to code another way to disable updates. Oh man, talk about a moving target. That is wild. All right. You can't disable it per se, Arch, but you can delay it. We already showed that though with GPOs. Okay, let's do Glaze real fast. Just for you, Phoenix. Let's see. What do we have? Well, let's go. I should have like installed. Do I have Chatterino on here? Maybe I do. Oh no, I don't have Chatterino. Chatterbait. God bless. Oh, Windows and their search suggestions. Thanks, Microsoft. You know what? Just paste it in the chat again. Just paste it in the chat again. Just go ahead and do that one more time for me. Yeah. All right. That was awesome. Oh man. All right, so what are we doing here? Let's just look it through. We got rose water, flamingo, pink, peach, yellow. So we're setting some variables up here. Looks to be just text. Follow cursor. Looking through options, gaps, 2 and 1. That's okay with me. Focus borders, bar height, 28 pixel. Background crust TP. JetBrains mono nerd font. I think we're using a Cascadia Cove. Let's make sure we have JetBrains installed before we do this. Let's go nerd fonts. JetBrains. You know, a lot of people love JetBrains, and you know what? I haven't really run it that much when it comes to JetBrains nerd font. A lot of people swear by it though. I can get it though. Look at it. It is very clear, I will say. Let's just download that guy. All right, we're going to extract all. Extract. All right. We got all of that. Let's just install all users. Yeah, it's definitely a good font. There's no doubt about it. So that's installed. What else we got? Moving through, font size 13, a little bit on the small side for my tastes. I like about a 16 pixel font. Just saying, you know, I like a big font. Nothing wrong with that. Well, what do we got? Windows rules, ignore, screen clipping, set floating, picture, binding modes for resize, HAKJ, so typical Vim bindings it looks like for the resize. Execute. We got all my, look at that. You pulled in my settings here for the key bindings. I like that. Focus windows, direction, focus desktop. All of that looks good. I like it. Now we just paste it in. Go raw. Let's grab that. And away we go. Let's go new. And we're going to just pull up PowerShell. Glaze. And now let's vim config YAML. You know what? Before I do this, let's just copy config.yaml to old config. Yeah. There's probably a faster way to do this, but whatever. I feel like this is good. Let's go to the top. Doesn't this need to be under the general tab? Oh, no, you don't. Okay. Yeah, you're just setting specific ones. So then we exit that. And then we need a reload glaze. What's the binding to reload? What about reload? Alt-Shift-R. Okay. Is the binding. Alt-Shift-R. Oh, it's pretty. Oh, you can also use the icon up there. Oh, okay. I like it, but we're missing some fonts. What? There's some squares. I just installed it. Maybe I just do the user. I think I went a little too hard here. Let's come here and let's go to downloads again. Maybe Windows does not like this set as a system install. Maybe the better way would have just been to hit install this way. Let's install it as the user now. I did an install all users, which installs it in the public directory, I believe. Where this should install it in the user directory. You sound tired. I am tired. I'm always tired. All right, here we go. So then Alt-Shift-R. Nothing. Really? That's kind of cool, though. Do you notice how it pops off? I like that. Let's just reboot. It's kind of cool. I like it. All right, let's reboot and see what it does. Yeah, we went ahead and restarted GlazeWM using Alt-Shift-R, but it just wasn't quite taking. I think it's just a Windows thing with the restart here. Alacrity on Windows, so weird for me. Yeah. Well, Windows at the end of the day, it gets the job done a lot of times. Doesn't mean I have to like it, though. Hey, our Copilot's back. Copilot. It's back. Oh, it looks like it is working now. Yeah, we just needed a reboot. Typical Windows fashion. Copilot. Aha! My everyday AI companion. Look at this. Copilot. Take me to my recycle bin. All right. Okay. Let's see if this works now. Last time it didn't tell us the right thing. Let's see if we can open up the recycle bin. Click on the File Explorer in your taskbar. Click that. In the address bar, type in recycle bin. Oh my God. Copilot is so smart. It now works. It can find the recycle bin, guys. Update today. You too can have this amazing. They fixed it. It found the recycle bin. Oh, let's see if it can empty the recycle bin for me. Can you empty my recycle bin? I am unable to perform actions on your device directly. However, I can guide you through the process. Right-click the recycle bin on your desktop. I hid my desktop. From the context menu, select Empty Recycle Bin. Wow. How did we ever survive before Copilot and AI came? It's truly a marvel. Truly a marvel. All right. Anyways, I do like this, though. This is cool. I like the... Like, this is web. Then we can set this for, like, comms. I like the theme, though. That GlazeWM theme that Phoenix made. It's a winner. I like it a lot better. That looks cool. Yeah. That is neat. What if we push this to, like, Workspace 4? Ah. Okay. Yeah, the workspaces are not hard-coded from the app, but that's okay. It's like how it is in my Linux install. That is cool, though. That's neat. So this is like what I do for my Linux. And then I just flip over to my Windows. Yeah. I dig it. It's not bad at all. Oh, share the link for this. You got it. We're going to use my new ultra cool script And I'm going to share this link with you guys. Are you ready for it? We're going to go GlazeWM. We're going to go HB, config. There you go. It's on the internet, uploaded for your digestion. Just go to ben.christitus.com/CAQAZERIMU. And you will too have this config. Or you could just click the link. I mean, I thought that was kind of cool though. It's Hastebin. It's just my custom server. So what it does is it auto uploads any text file, I feed it, and then spits out a URL. So like anybody in chat wants to grab one of my files, they can be like, hey, Titus, where's this file? I'll be like, I don't know, but here. And they'll just spit out a URL for you. I thought that's kind of cool. That's going to be on Saturday's video. And then actually I actually made 2 videos. One doing it in PowerShell, but really what I really wanted it for was Linux. So I did the exact same thing. So I made a PowerShell version of Hastebin, and then I also made a Bash version. So it interfaces both ways. And yeah, that's I think if we do a git pull, I don't know what that was about. Let's do a git pull. Res Hugo. And if we do it, what does that look like? I can't even remember what I was creating. I think I have it right here. Where is it? Hastebin. Yeah. Did I make the same folder? Oh, dang. That's the same picture. Nobody will know. Anyways. Saving and sharing. So I made a PowerShell function to do Hastebin, and basically what the PowerShell function is just this for HB. It's grabbing this, and you feed it one variable, one file name, that argument. It grabs that argument, and then it takes it, and then it does a IRM, or invoke rest method, spits it out to here, and posts it to ben.christitus.com. Then I took the exact same thing and made a bash function. You could probably do this for ZSH and other ones too, but this is just using curl instead of obviously IRM. You wouldn't do that in Linux because you're not crazy. And yeah, there you go. The 2. But yeah, this should, oh, that's actually May 8th. Dang, that's like 7 days from now. Well, anyways, it's coming out soon. Somebody barely figured it out. It's fine. Average YouTuber's thumbnail, yeah, it's true. We all just have the same headshots and we just use them throughout the year, which is kind of funny. I should grab like my old headshots, because if you look at how old do I have? I think let me pull up some old headshots here. I think I have some oldies. Let's go headshots. Oh no, I got old. Here we go. Hey, man. I don't know if I can get away with reusing these. That's hilarious. Oh, gosh. Man, I barely had any gray hair here. Damn. How time flies. Anyways, let's not look at that. I should just mess with everybody and just start using my 2018 thumbnails. That'd be hilarious. You shouldn't blame Katie Live from your earlier videos. That was just a bad webcam and microphone. Oh, Caden Live. Well, yeah, Caden Live, I don't know. I mean, I use Caden Live for 500 of the videos. And Caden Live's not bad. It's just slow as dirt, and it doesn't have nearly the accessibility of a $300 piece of software like Resolve or Final Cut, or hell, even probably, I don't even want to mention the Adobe one. Adobe Premiere, ugh, gross. We're not going to say that. But yeah, you just can't beat that. And for what I was doing, using free software like Caden Live, a bit on the ridiculous side. Like, this is like my main gig for the most part. And just pay the money, Chris, and just buy software that was intended for video production. And it took me over 500 YouTube videos to figure that out. Yeah. But if you're just starting out and you're an amateur, I mean, I don't like, if you put me in front of like Resolve and Kdenlive starting out, I think the videos probably would have maybe looked a little better on the Kdenlive side or on the Resolve side of things, but not like a huge bit of difference, because at the end of the day, the editing and the things you have to learn to make the video look good, well, you don't have those skills. So if you're just splicing together a whole bunch of stuff, you don't even know what an L cut or a J cut is, and you're just a lost noob like I was, the difference between Kdenlive and like Resolve is pretty minor. But having said that, after doing 50 or 100 videos, I should have been like, okay, I'm going to pony up a couple $100 and go this route. For templates alone and doing titling and just, I think of all the things I do on a daily basis from Resolve, it speeds up my workflow, and I would have saved thousands of hours if I would have ditched Kdenlive a lot earlier. I should have ditched Kdenlive a lot earlier, but me being the pighead that I am, I was just like, no, I got to use FOSS. I got to use Linux for everything. And that was a mistake. I lost so much time by doing that. I should have just lied to everybody and been like, no, I am only using Linux, and then immediately transported over to a pro editor. I probably should have done that. But I really did want to hold true and be 100% FOSS. And I did it for quite some time. Yeah. Yeah, show don't tell, especially on the video editing. I think that'd probably be the easiest way. I rarely edit anything out here, but we could just do the free version of Resolve and show the differences. It wouldn't be that hard. Yeah, that's pretty good, though. Let's see. Clip Champ. Windows Movie Maker forever, man. Filmora. Oh, geez. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of other crappy editors out there. Have you tried using Resolve on Nubara Linux? I think the big hang up with Resolve in Linux is not using AAC. AAC is such a standard for audio, and not having that ability to ingest it with Resolve on Linux is not the best. Yeah, I think Filmora used to have like a lifetime license, and they recently revoked all that, which is kind of funny too. Yeah, 10 million sub YouTubers starting with Windows Movie Maker. That's true. Why don't you use Opus? Yeah, you have to. Like I said, I should just install the editor. Someone, I think it was Peter, mentioned Opus earlier. I just haven't yet. No, we're not doing the Discord server thing again. That's just too much of a headache. Zentyal, that's the Linux Active Directory, right? It's been a while since I looked at it. The best Linux server for Active Directory installation. That's cool, it's still around. I was sure it wasn't going to make it. That's wild. 3,000 euro for unlimited users. Why wouldn't you just do Windows Server? Honest question. Like, let's say you have 1,000 users. Windows Server's cheaper. And it's native. It's not trying to do some kind of interpretation of Active Directory. I mean, it's just right off the top of my head, that's what I'm thinking. It'd be interesting. Let's see. I think it's for the support. So that's really why you'd buy it. It's for the support. And Microsoft support used to be actually pretty good for server. If you got to like tier 2, it wasn't that bad. You could pay, I think it was like $300. I had to do it a couple times for some really obscure Windows Server issues I was having. And it used to be extremely good. I don't know these days if they even do that. I can't tell you the last time I've actually called Microsoft with like a valid like business style question. Windows Server does not update when you don't want it. No. Yeah, so Windows Server works a lot different than Windows. Windows Server, you typically would do like a server update services, and everything would be, hey, I want to update now. You can't just have 1,000 users kicked offline because it decided to do updates. Even Microsoft knows that's a bad idea. So Windows Server does not just auto update. That's like the very first thing you learn as an IT administrator is, hey, turn off auto update. Because if that updates in the middle of the day and in the middle of production, you're not going to have a job. So, yeah, no. Windows Server's, you know, obviously you're talking to a guy that's what got paid the most for was Windows Server. So, yeah. Yeah, I mean, business is what Microsoft's always catered to. It's why most of the business world uses Microsoft Office or Office 365. Why almost every business out there, especially in the United States, I don't know about overseas, use Windows Server specifically for Active Directory. Windows Server license, I think it's about $300, $600. I bet you could do, let's just Amazon it. What is Windows Server? Let's go 2022. Probably need to install that soon anyways. I usually wait 3 years past a server resolve. So like when server 2022 comes out, I don't install it in the business usually until 2025. So I usually have a really good lag period before I actually move to a new server. I would never update Windows Server the same year it comes out. That would just be for people that hate themselves. And you know, you just would never do it. So I would do it here. So yeah, Windows Server, $200-300 on this is I think aftermarket though. 5-pack Cal. No, that's not. Here's Core. That's a pretty small server. But that's maybe 5. You could probably do 1,000 users on that though. What else we got? You know, it's not, you wouldn't really buy it off Amazon then. Let's go somewhere like a business would use, probably like CDW. Be like a wholesaler. It's gonna make me log in, won't it? Oh, God bless. Let's browse all software. Let's grab operating systems. And we'll go Windows. We got a Windows Server. Windows Server Cal. Where are you at? You think they'd have like a search? Let's just go Microsoft. And let's go server. Can we get that? Nope. Yeah, you can pick up LTSC for $289 here. But we're asking about Windows Server. I swear I picked up Windows Server from CTW once upon a time. It's been a while since I bought licenses. Not really my gig anymore. Yeah, CDW is awful. You're probably better off just going CDW Windows Server 2022. Let's just search Google for CDW. Here you go. Standard edition license, 16 cores. Here you go. About $1,000 for a standard edition of Windows Server. And how Windows Server licensing works is it's based off the hardware itself. So you can do up to a 16 core system. So you go to 16 cores, 32 threads, like a Xeon that I have here. This would be a suitable license for it. So for about $1,000, that would be perfect. So that's why when I looked at, that's kind of what I looked at for when I was looking at, what is it, Zentyal? The Linux Active Directory solution. This for Active Directory. That's why I was like looking at the pricing. I was like, that's odd. Like the users unlimited is 3,000. So if you had 1,000 users, I mean, hell, even 300 users. Why wouldn't you just go with Authentic Thing? This does give you support though, where obviously Microsoft's not going to be not going to be the best. Yes, and this is more from you can install on multiple servers, but how many servers are you going to really need? For Active Directory, shoot. I mean, I've powered, you know, well, usually I would do 2 servers. So I'd usually buy 2 cows, so about $2,000 for, let's say I had a couple thousand users. I would usually have your primary domain controller and then usually a backup, like a secondary domain controller. Maybe even toss like a read-only somewhere for just redundancy. But even still, you know, that's three servers, which we're already kind of in the, wow, you're really paranoid at that point in time to replicate that much. Yeah. So I don't understand what audience this is for. Is probably my big thing. I guess I would imagine it's a support. Because I couldn't imagine Microsoft support getting any better than what it was back in the day. Like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, Microsoft support was actually quite good, especially tier 2 support. Yeah. For an employer, where I was using like the most servers was the waste company. The waste company, we had a couple thousand users, and that one, a relatively sizable footprint. Most of our licensing wasn't actually Microsoft. Our cows, I think we used some like terminal service cows, so it wasn't cheap by any means. I think we were still paying like 10 or 20,000 for that. And then the cows that were super expensive were the Citrix cows, which, if you're unfamiliar with Citrix, what's the pricing on Citrix these days? I remember the pricing back in 2016 when I was doing it was just ridiculous. Oh, the licensing was nuts. It's not going to give me pricing. But yeah, Citrix, I remember we were paying, I want to say close to like 50,000 a year or something. It was up there. It was expensive as hell. We were doing Zen app, we were doing Zen desktop. We had to do NetScaler for like the endpoint coming in, and then we had another one for like the studio. It was weird. It's been a minute, but anyhow, I don't know how we got on this topic. Yeah, if you have to ask about pricing, it's too much. It's true. Healthcare is still all over Citrix. It blows currently. Oh, that's too bad. I always like Citrix. I mean, other than it being ungodly expensive, I really liked it. Oh, look, they bundled with Azure. Let's pretend we have 1,000 users. Do we have a calculator? I heard it. I saw it said a calculator. Maybe it lied to us. Citrix on Azure. They probably took the calculator away. I could totally see that scaring people. I mean, that's got to be ungodly expensive. Well, so the whole point of Citrix and why it was a lot, like someone said, hey, my dad used to work for a bank and they use Citrix, and a lot of big companies use Citrix, was you would have just imagine this kind of secure environment. Like this specific business I was working for, we had 20 different branch offices, and trying to get everybody on the same page was kind of difficult. And what you could do was just host it all in a colo or a data center, basically, and everyone would just use Citrix directly off of that. So it never really left the building. You didn't have to VPN in. Citrix took care of all that on the front end. You just pull up a web page, you could pull up your iPad, you could do it anywhere, and it would just kind of unlock all that. And it was nice. It was nice for that. It wasn't set up properly. It was a pain to set up though. Like NetScaler was awful. I remember messing with NetScaler for days. That was not the best, but it was, I would say, fairly secure. It was not that bad. The big problem was there was a lot of configuration with Citrix. My employer paid one of my predecessors, I think like 6 figures, and he set it up improperly. And there was a lot of, well, one, the servers themselves had bad DNS. So it had like one or two servers that were just failing, and it would finally fail over. So everyone's load times were like ridiculous. So when I first got there, I was like, what? All right, let me fix that. And then everything got up substantially faster. Imagine that having good DNS. And then I forget, there was some weird bug where anytime you opened up Windows or opened up a new instance, there's a lot of latency. It was something with a cache in Citrix, and I remember having to clear all that out, and we got it all solved, and it was much better after I was finished with it. But again, it's its own skill set. Citrix is. It's wonky. All right. Anyways, MicroWin was another one we needed to talk about. I don't think we even touched MicroWin, did we? Look at GitHub Desktop. Let's see. What do we? Let's pull this guy. There we go. The GlazeWM bar looks better in your DWM one. Yeah, I like it. It's nice. I thought Phoenix did a good job with that. Yeah, these days I don't know point in Citrix. I agree with that. I mean, Citrix, I'm sure, has lost a ton of money over the years. One, they've gouged businesses for so long. Most people have no loyalty to them. Oh, Phoenix abandoned us, moved to YouTube. Well, actually, I think Peter's watching on YouTube. He's just using Chatterino to chat through Twitch. Oh, that's funny. All right. My goodness. I thought did we just check this out? I think we just checked it out. Create a pull request. That's kind of odd. Yeah, not that I don't like the fact of doing an invoke function here to launch it and having that to launch your Windows utility. I just don't think very many people will do that. They'd rather just launch into the utility and then probably just create a shortcut key. So if you have to be told how to do this, you probably shouldn't do it. You know, it's one of those things. So I'll probably actually deny this pull request. It just kind of bloats up the README file. Yeah, that's what kind of why I agree with you, Zombie. The video is better on YouTube, but the chat is lackluster compared to Twitch. I love IRC chat. That's why I love Twitch chat for Twitch chatting. But then you get like the ads. The ads stuff on Twitch is just awful. So I'd watch a stream on, if people are dual streaming, I'd watch it on YouTube, and then I'd use Chatterino to chat. And that way I wouldn't have to mess with anything. So if you're watching this on YouTube because, well, you hate Twitch video, well, watch it on YouTube and then just use a third-party app. You could use Chatterino, you could use WeChat, the not the Chinese version, but the WEE chat. It's an actual application you could download and install if you want to use it through Terminal or PowerShell. A good alternative for your streaming needs. Yeah, a lot of bad PRs today, surprisingly. I'm not going to mention this as a bad PR. I really like people contributing. But yeah, that's just a little on the unnecessary side. It's a cool idea. It's just, it just bloated up a little too much is the problem. So that's the reason why I deny that one. Or use Chatterbait. Yeah, use Microsoft's recommendation of Chatterbait, recommended by Microsoft. Oh, goodness. Goodness gracious. What else we got here? Fix incorrect. I like this already. Fix incorrect URL for Jellyfin Media Player. Nice. I bet this is just a small change. Looks like I fat fingered that during an edit. Nice. Oop. Before I merge that, let's change the... Can I change the... I need to put it on a different branch. So I want to change that. Now on the website, I gotta... Oh, damn it. I don't know. I don't know on that one, John. I'm still using Cursor a little bit, although I did cancel my subscription. It's neat, but yeah. All right, changing this. I don't see... Project, maybe? No. Yeah, I just don't know where to change that guy. I guess I could check it out and then switch the checkout to the different branch. It seems a little less intuitive than just using the web, though. We'll come back to that one. Next. He committed to the wrong branch. All right, this one's at least on the right branch. Adding brackets code editor and phcode.io. Okay. Brackets.io. Anybody use brackets.io? That's interesting. Customizable web development editor with a live preview. Yeah. Interesting. Just for using VS Code. Aw. VS Code's nice when you don't want to use... If you only want to use one hand, it's not bad. It's good for the handicapped people like myself. Oh. Yeah, I don't know on the brackets.io. That's kind of a weird one. A modern, powerful open source editor. Introducing Phoenix Code Editor. Man, I don't know if I've ever seen this one before. Is this new? Why would you use one hand to code? So I can talk to you guys and use this hand to point at you. I'm really lazy today, guys. This has been a slow one. I'm just like slowly working through 12 PRs that probably should have taken me like 10 minutes to do. Sure, Chris, sure. Yeah. Check out Phoenix as well. Weird. Okay. Interesting. It's kind of got, this has the Phoenix, what is it, phcode.dev. This has the vibes of Dreamweaver. I don't know if y'all have ever used Dreamweaver. This reminds me of it, though. Right? I don't know if it's just me. It's been a while since I've opened up a Dreamweaver. Probably more than 10 years. But that's kind of cool. I gotta say, I like it. I don't know if I like it enough to add it to my utility, though. Moving on. Next PR. Windhawk. You guys ever done anything with Windhawk? Well, Dreamweaver was not made by Adobe. Adobe bought Dreamweaver out. Dreamweaver used to be its own thing. Yeah. Okay, Zach says he's used Windhawk before. Yeah, if you guys remember Macromedia, the creators of Flash. A lot of people give Adobe credit for Flash or blame for Flash, but really it was Macromedia's fault. Yes. Macromedia, you know, that was their huge claim to fame. Adobe, Macromedia, Flash, and also Dreamweaver. I think Dreamweaver was made by Macromedia, if memory serves me correctly. Yeah, Macromedia, Flash, Director, Dreamweaver, and Freehand Tools. There you go. Back in the, what was that, late 90s, I think it was. I think Adobe bought them out in the early 2000s. And yes, Adobe made it a lot worse. That is true. All right, what's this one? Windhawk. A customization marketplace for Windows programs. Let's watch a YouTube video.
What you guys got enough?
Is that Brightech? It's Brightech. It's like as soon as I heard it, I was like, that's Brightech. All right, Windhawk dot, what was that? Windhawk.net. Early 2000. Yeah, by 2004, Adobe bought all of them. Oh, Front Page. I loved Front Page. I don't know if I should say that out loud, but I did like Front Page. It's Microsoft, yeah. It was a Microsoft product. Microsoft has some really interesting products sometimes. They're all over the map, though. Customize a marketplace for Windows programs. Dark mode for Notepad. Slick window arrangement. Middle click. This is kind of cool. So it has like customization. See, I would be okay with like Windhawk as long as it's open source. And it is. Looks like it. Maybe. Oh, there's a source. All right. Yeah. There we go. All right, cool. Yeah, no. We'll add that. That's a neat tool, Windhawk. I'll have to check it out. And let's just take a peek at his applications, JSON. We got Windhawk. Okay. Clean. And it's submitted to the test branch. Look at that. Our first commit. One of the first PRs today that we can actually accept. MS Edge redirect. Let's take a peek. A tool to redirect news, search, widgets, weather, more to your default browser. Alrighty. I like it. We used to make like a CMD file to do this and then directly put it in, but it's been a little bit problematic as of late. I do like this idea, MS Edge redirect. I'll have to try. I think I'm going to install this product directly on my system. Does it not work nowadays? Last release was 2003. Let's try it out. It's one way to figure it out. So you have this way. You have a service mode where it just captures it. Damn, uses 1 to 10% of your CPU depending on system. Wow. Yikes. All right, well let's run it. All right, first off, what happens when we... Where's the news? News of the day. Oh Lord, I don't want to type this in here, but we got to. News. All right, newstalk.com. What happens if we click that? Yeah, launches Edge. All right, cool. Just wanted to make sure that's what it was. Let's accept next. I don't like that. Let's try active mode. And this should deflect it. That's the way I like to do it. Running as a service, honestly, I'd rather Edge open up because I'm not going to click. I'm not going to search for stuff using my start menu. That's kind of crazy. Or search the internet with my start menu. That's wild. Let's just switch all of this to Google and weather. Bing images to Google, PDF viewer, default, disable Windows Copilot, disable Bing chat, and redirect store apps. Yes. Let's do it. Install, create start menu, and finish. All right, so we've run it. This is the latest dev version, so it hasn't been updated since December 30th, 2023. Let's find out if this actually works. So let's go search. Let's type Chris Titus. Hey, look at that. It works still, even on the new version of Windows. Well, that's a win. Yeah, whoever recommended it, I think that's definitely going to be one we're going to add. So that looks good. Let's come back to our PR. Go to test branch. Unknown Ether G is the one that recommended that one. Like it, approve. And we're going to add that in. Merge. GlazeWM. Yeah. What do we got here? That's actual code, not an application. Doing a prior one. I think I actually already approved this. I just never squashed and merged it. Let's merge. Before we get too over the moon here, let's pull down these changes and test. Anytime there's a change, I want to make sure that it is valid. So we have comms. Let's go here, and what we're gonna do, actually, yeah, let's just go WinUtil, get pull. We're gonna do a compile, install fnm, line 24. We had a problem with this guy. Conversion from JSON failed because of parsing error. I bet you it's something with applications. Let's look at the config applications. All right, what are we missing? Fast node manager, fan control. What is missing here? So there's a syntax error somewhere in here. Ah, it's right here. There we go. And let's try it again. Always the comma. It's always a comma, right? All right, let's compile again. And we'll go WinUtil. All right, launch is fine. Let's install Windhawk. Right here. Install the new Windhawk. Oh, NG remote. I'm pretty sure it's already there, isn't it? I've used NG remote a lot. Oh, no. We're not using NG remote. It's I think it was RDC man, actually. Which, honestly, I'm a little more partial to RDC. Yeah, RDC man, remote desktop connection manager, instead of NG remote. Do we have NG remote in here, though? I've used both. Oh, no. NG remote's not there. Did I spell it wrong? Oh, yeah. Never mind. NG. M remote NG. Yeah, there. Never mind. It's there. I was like, I thought it was. I've used it a lot. Alrighty. Gravy. All that's great. Let's close out of that. All right. So Windhawk. That's good. Let's discard. And we'll fix that on the test branch and push. All right, moving on. I don't know how I let that syntax error slip. I'm just not feeling my Wheaties today. That looks good with proper error handling. Anything else with our PR? Let's keep going. Glaze test. This is still a draft. Applications. Oh, that's right. We looked at this earlier. Eesh. Yeah, these are good commits. It's just I don't really want to add. Don't want to add Trialware to the utility. Let's request changes. Yeah, that's why we always check before main. That's why everything is done on test. It really has gotten better. I still use GitHub as a noob, really, after thousands of commits at this point. But I feel like every month I get a little bit better. And there's certain things that I try and like force myself to do, like doing PRs directly in like VS Code. That's what we're doing today. I don't normally do my PRs here. Usually I do them directly in the browser, and then I usually have different ways to check. I just wanted to try a different method today, and I was like, let's try and do all our PRs this way. There's still quite a bit. Oh, someone was listening to me on the stream, and remove start all back and add netbird. Remove start all back. What's netbird? Open source alternative to Tailscales that can be connected to a self-hosted server. That sounds cool. I've always used Tailscale. How do I not know about netbird? Huh. Well, this looks cool. Open source, zero trust. Now, it kind of reminds me of like, what is it, zero tier? Pricing. Has anybody ever used netbird? Yeah, Tailscale's pretty nice. Like I said, I've used it pretty extensively. I've just never seen this one. I mean, more options are good, and it is open source, so let's take a peek. Oh, that's kind of cool. Huh. I kind of like it. All right. And 9K stars. Pretty active. Not heard of that. Tailscale alternative netbird. Very interesting addition. What are we doing on the tweak side? Oh, no. What else is slipped in here? Let's take a peek. Disables many services that come with Adobe. Actually, that's probably a good tweak. Disable Adobe services. He just made it a new tweak. I like it. I like that a lot, actually. Well, hell yeah. Who made this? My Drift user. You're the man. I like all of that. Remove start all back as per your request. And because it apparently does not work on 24H2 anymore. Yep. I love it. All right, great. All that looks perfect. Sweet. Merge. That's a great one. It gives me stuff to kind of think about. I use netbird. It's good for temping in from my iPhone to my PCs and my home lab. Cool. So I could probably install that here because I don't really have but maybe 3 PCs that I remote into. And to disable 100% of Adobe, I like as well. We could expand this out too. What do you guys think of this? This kind of leans a little bit in the gray area, depending on how this is utilized, of legality. Now, obviously, I don't condone anything illegal, so I want to preface what I'm about to say with that. But let's just say you want to stop Adobe from communicating with its home servers. One good way to do that, there's an Adobe hosts file that you can actually do. I think it was right here. And if you do have something, it's 3 weeks ago. Okay, yeah. You could expand the disabling of Adobe talking by actually making a modification to this. And this is all of Adobe servers. And what this does is every time Adobe tries to reach out, phone home to whether it's activation, whether it's services, whether it's telemetry, Adobe has quite a number of phone home requests. This redirects it to localhost. That might be a good addition. Just pulling in the Adobe URL block list, because the legal application of this would be to speed up Adobe. Because a lot of times Adobe, if it sees, hey, I can't reach the internet, it just goes ahead and launch. So it reaching out to the internet and going, hey, is this a valid system? Or is this, I want to do an update, or You know, there's a lot of things with Adobe where you really don't want it updating, or you just want it to launch and do your stuff in business, and it constantly phoning home can lead to some latency and other things. So I'm mentioning this. We might add something like this to the toolbox because there's a lot of practical use cases that are not illegal and why you'd want to do this. Specifically, if you have like older versions of Adobe that you just want to launch without any mess, doing a host block list from Adobe is actually not a bad idea. Or you could just toss it into like a Pi-hole or your own custom DNS server. Just another idea, but a good one, especially if you're the unfortunate person that has to deal with Adobe products. I really don't have to deal with Adobe products these days, so I don't really care. But I have had to deal with them in the past, and that's just one way around. Want to review a script? Sure. I'm always game for reviewing a script. So anyways, that's good. Let's come on back to our home here. Did I already pull this down? Let's pull. All right. What else we got? We can close that. All right. What is this? No. That's not at all how this works, man. Just trolling me. You can't. You can't do that. That's not at all how that's supposed to work. Oh, man. I know, runtime. Full runtime. We have a lot of the runtime there, don't we? Let's switch back to our test branch. Is there a pull? Okay, there wasn't a pull. Let's just see here. Oh boy, that's too funny. All right, now if we look, you already have the runtimes here. So the VC run that you're looking for, you have VC runs right here, these runtime packages. You have the 32-bit and 64-bit. This is the runtime that you're actually speaking of. The 2015 through 2022 should get you pretty much everything you want. There might be some really obscure legacy stuff there, but it's already there. You just click these, hit install. That's it. You're good to go. 2005 through 2013 is missing. You really don't need to install that many runtimes. Almost any modern app should be able to use the 2015 through the 2022. But let's double check. Let's double check. Let's do it. appwiz.cpl. Before we get too over the moon here. Yeah, they're there. Those were actually reinstalled earlier, so they're already installed. Use the tech power-up script to install them. King Root has been silent all this time, and as soon as we pull up something that flashbangs, he's like, what? I just do it for you, man, just to make sure you're still there. My eyes. Oh, that's too funny. Chris, do you use Hyper-V or ESXi when making VMs? On Windows, a lot of times I like to use VMware Workstation Pro if I'm just doing it from strictly like, hey, I'm just going to pull up like a VMDK file or something like that. I'll do that. But for most things, I like to use QEMU if I'm doing virtualization from Linux. So I might even pull up like Virt Manager, Virtual Machine Manager. This is what I prefer. One, there's no licensing or jank to it, and you have a lot more options. So like passing through PCIe, PCI Express, or passing an NVMe drive directly to the VM. So you got more of a raw, good performance in your virtual machine. You really just can't beat this. That's why I like to use it instead of the other, because it's almost like a type 1 hypervisor at that point, which I like. But if I'm going to like create its own hypervisor host, which I think is more of what your question is, I really like XCPNG and Proxmox, if you're going to be on that host and you don't need headless, I really like Proxmox for almost everything that it has a monitor or a head to it. But if it's a headless implementation, like in business, a lot of times like XCP-ng, I might use if money's a concern. If there's no concern for money and they just want to burn cash, I don't mind using VMware. That's fine too. VMware is still the market standard, and I can appreciate that. Hyper-V, I don't really do these days. I just kind of like staying away from it. It's just not my jam. You think it would be, me being like a Windows Server guy, but I just don't, I never have liked Hyper-V's implementation. All right, that's good. Let's see what else we got. And let's see, what else we got for pull requests? Oh, somebody screwed up this pull request. Adding alt snap. All right, what do we got? What is this? Maintain continuation of Stefan Sundin's alt trap. It allows you to move and resize windows by using the Alt key, clicking wherever on the window instead of relying on precise clicking. Yeah. The problem with this type of program is it will break with every Explorer update. It requires quite a bit of recent releases. It's kind of like why I don't add Explorer Patcher to the toolbox. Same principle. When you start interfacing and changing the way Windows is designed, it breaks. And it's not, it just leads to a lot of bad circumstances. So, sadly, I'm going to have to deny this pull request as well. Obscure and modifying standard Windows functions is always a dice roll. I mean, I still appreciate, like, a lot of these, you know, if I crapped on your pull request and, like, denied it today, just know that it's not necessarily what you're putting out there, it's, or maybe the code itself. Sometimes it's just my personal preference of just trying to keep things lean and trying to keep things for a normal user. A lot of times I always think, hey, if my dad were to use this or my mom, I want to make sure that it would not be a hassle for them. You know, it'd be something that they can just see and click the things they want and not sit there and question and have a whole bunch of really weird, obscure software that isn't good for them. So that's my thought process behind everything that gets added. And when I deny a pull request, it could be sometimes the code, sometimes it's just the suggestion or the idea itself. It just doesn't jive with the vision of the Windows utility of being more for your normal person than it is for like a super power user. It's still there for a power user, but that's more secondary than a normal person too. So that's my thought process a lot of times, and I even deny that occasionally. So yeah, so many application requests today. Some were cool. I didn't mind some of them. Sometimes we could get some really cool stuff from them. Oh, geez, let's just... All right, let's just close that. Let's fetch. What's this wind? We never did look at Windhawk. That was another piece of software that modifies your Windows. I thought that was kind of a cool idea. What's going on here? What did I do here? Yeah, well, whatever. I'm going to quit this. So you have to load Windhawk and all mods when it's started with the system. I don't necessarily like that, but so be it. Let's just shut that bad boy down. Skill issue. All right, we got that. Alrighty. We never did test microwin today, but oh well. Oh no, what do we got for this? Runtime category, distribution all. Yeah, the main issue here is we use winget for the majority of this, and using Cocoa to kind of brute force it all in would be not the way I do it. I'd actually have to do a different methodology to install VC the VC runtimes from 2005 to 2012, I think it is, because we got 2015 through 2022. I don't know. I'll think about it. Some more. Oh, we could do WinHT. Oh, let's allow that. Win's HTTPS. Yeah, I should just forgot to do a cert bot and issue that. Let's see, Theo, I have to run, but wanted to say I've used Windows yet again on a new install. It was pretty much the only thing in my Windows workflow that actually works. Appreciate you and all your contributions. Good to hear, Theo. I'm glad it worked for you, man. All right, Miracle, you've posted this so much. Let's look at it, King Root. And Tommy, this is the all-in-one install. That's cool. Just grab everything and install it at once. We could do like a custom script to just grab this too. But then you gotta update it. I'm like, I don't want to update that necessarily. Wish that was just issued via Chocolatey or Winget. All right, Miracle WM is a tiling Wayland compositor based on Mirror. Okay. Very much in the style of i3 and Sway, which I'm not a huge fan of. Built, intention is to build a compositor that's flashier and more feature-rich than those compositors like Sway FX. Okay. Well, first off, it's a sin that you have been complaining all day long about light theme, and then you send me this, and all it is light theme. So I have so many questions about that. Like, you have been there all day long going, I'm blind, flashbang. Ah. And then you send me this screenshot. Ah. WTF. Like, what? Other than that, I don't mind it. Very reminiscent of a lot of tiling window managers with your numbered workstations, and then you got all the Linuxy garbage in your sys tray up here, which that's normal. That's par for the course when you're sending that off to Reddit. You know, that's okay. You could have gone with a little more anime in the background here. You know, hot anime chick in the background's kind of missing. And more of a dark cyber theme would have been better. What's going on with your terminal? What are you using? It's got like this weird border background. At least you're using Bash, but theme out your prompt. Ugh. And then your YAML. I hate YAML, but that's what this Windows manager likes to use because the creator hates himself. And yeah, it's cool. To the creator of Miracle WM, I gotta say, I like it. Other than the fact I will never use it, but I think somebody out there will. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. YAML isn't that bad. I know. I like to crap on YAML as much as I can. And then we got Fancy WM. What do we got here? I don't think I've seen Fancy WM before. This one's got a few more stars. It's a dynamic tiling window manager for Windows. So this is in the realm of like GlazeWM kind of style. Dynamic tiling windows. Swappable stack paneling. The one thing I loved about Glaze Window Manager was they took out the Windows key. Because the Windows key causes so many problems on Windows because there's so many hard-coded bindings for everything in Windows. So when you have the Windows key there, you have to find a way around that. I'm pretty sure Fancy WM probably did. But that's also one thing I really don't like about a lot of those. And honestly, it would conflict with my DWM anyways. But let's see the screenshots. The screenshots. More light theme screenshots. You guys were giving me so much crap, and then you send me nothing but light screenshots. Okay. It's okay, I guess. Yeah. And the stacking's kind of interesting. All right. Oh, that little compositor. Hyprland. Look at that. 16.7 thousand stars. Holy crap. Hyprland is just blown up. Last commit 3 hours ago. Who's the main contributor these days? I know it's Vaxery, but what do we got for contributors? Let's actually not hit commits. Let's go contributors. 285 contributors with old Hyprland. All right, we got Vaxery. Look at him, man. Just killing it. Damn, that's a lot of commits. 3,305 commits from Vaxery. Fuff with 2017. Okay. Got a few people here and there. Just popping in. Fuff does have some commits, but man, if Vaxery ever gets hit by a bus, Hyprland is going the way of the dodo. Unless somebody picks it up. There is not very much. You just have a few contributors here and there. I wish that's one thing I wish I saw with Hyprland. When it comes to open source, I like to see more contributors really coming in and contributing to the project. And it just adds, one, it takes a lot of that stress off of that one person. I know it's like Vaxery's baby, but at the same time, a lot of really healthy open source projects have, 5, 10 contributors often committing, and only seeing the one, which is Vaxery, and then a little bit of Fuff here, but almost everybody else, very, very few commits here and there, just a little bit sprinkling in. I would like to see this evolve a little more. I still love Hyprland, and I love what Vaxery's done, and he's definitely a gifted dev. It's just one thing that I've seen. And oh man, that one didn't quite load. What else we got? It's definitely a pretty. There's so many great rices for Hyprland. Yeah, Vaxery's crazy. He has just done so much. He addressed a scrolling window manager recently. That's interesting. Oh my. Well, that's unique. Look at that. Chris, have you ever tried Duaz instead of sudo? Yeah, Duaz is actually a more up-to-date version of sudo. I want to say it's a little more secure. When sudo had a bunch of security vulnerabilities, I think a lot of people did switch to Duaz and then just aliased sudo. Man, this is kind of a wild rice. Yeah. That's one hell of a Hyprland theme there. Oh, auto hotkey. I'm not a huge fan of using a auto hotkey for stuff in Windows. I mean, I have my own auto hotkey script because sometimes it's needed, but I don't want to rely too much on it. Yeah, that's wild. Man, look at that menu. That like Rofi menu that popped up. I don't even know if that was Rofi or not. Yeah. It's crazy. Hey, Adam, how's it going, man? Thanks for the raid. We were literally about to shut down. So, welcome, raiders. We were just finishing up our beautiful stream on Windows utility, and then we jumped back over into Linux, and we're like, hey, let's check out some rices. And this is kind of where we ended up. And I'm sitting here still wrapping my brain around this Hyprland rice that I was like, that's cool. But yeah, perfect timing. Okay, well, where should we raid? We should just do a chain raid. Let's take Adam's viewers, our viewers, and let's raid somewhere else on Twitch. You guys, let me know. Where are we headed? Hopefully another technology stream. Let's spread the love. Appreciate you, Adam. Let's spread the love. We're going to say goodbye to YouTube, guys. YouTube, thanks for checking us out. See you guys later. Next stream's going to be next week, YouTubers. So, deuces to YouTube.